YPA TV, discovering the genius in you. YPA TV, discovering the genius in you.
Leaders for having also thought of this meeting being so useful to us. We know, Lord our Father, that every package that you have been put before us is going to be for the good of us, for the good of the nation, and for praising your name. Guide us, help us that the information we are going to get really benefits every person. We pray all this through your mighty name, Jesus Christ.
Thank you, Mr. Silas, for that prayer. So we are going to have working breakfast. So don't mind if and we've been moving through for now over a decade, 16 years plus. We have members that are clocking to 10,000 now that we are working with. And our influence has moved throughout all the regions of Uganda. So we have directors from different regions. The lady you see in the extreme corner, she's going to stand up. Maybe let me start from there as we come like this. We introduce ourselves and the region and what you do in that region.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm calling Madam with YPA. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Edith. Yes, Madam, next.
My name is Linda Messenger. Linda Messenger, generally known as Senga of YPA. I'm a Senga of whoever knows me. I'm a regional director for Western Region, and I've been in this company for 1 year. I joined last year. The project of goods. That is the project I found, and since that time it has expanded to greater heights. My responsibility, one of the responsibilities is to mobilize the people of the Western region and act as a bridge between the members, between the public and the YPA. I'm glad to be part of this leadership team, and I'm hoping and praying to meet the expectations. Have a good meeting.
God. Good morning. I'm happy to be here this morning. Our visitors, you're welcome. This is home. I'm Tusubira Harriet, representing Eastern Uganda as the governor. And my work, like my colleagues have said, is to coordinate, to be a bridge of YPA and coordinating with my region. Yes, that is it.
Thank you. Madam Harriet. Yes.
Thank you very much. You're most welcome. My name is Kainda Robert, the ambassador YPA Dhaka district. Dhaka is found in Eastern. So I work with Madam Tusubira.
What's her name?
Kainda Robert.
Robert.
Yes.
He's not with us. He has gone for a medical checkup, but he's by the names Ouma Robert. Ouma Robert, as the Director, Eastern Region. Thank you.
More visitors. My name is George Bai, Mayor of Central Region, representing. My responsibility is to emphasize youth to join YPA, such that we do projects in terms of
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning, our visitors, and your most welcome. Thank you. My name is Tamari Mary. I'm the Director, Central Region. The higher population. I've heard many people before me. And my work to mobilize these people, to sensitize them about YPA.
Which region, Madam Mary?
Central. And we're doing it with my vice, with my governor here. We're doing it. We mostly work with organized groups as well as individuals. And the individuals will request them to form into groups. Then we go and sensitize those groups. And many are joining because they find it a saving. People says we don't want to be like ants, because the ants, they know how to keep their food for the dry season, so for the dry season. So that when people are saying, well, then they know where to sit their seed. So we welcome you here when we get our people that we are here, they are making money. After making the money, they know where to park that money and be able to devote, to get programs, other programs. So you're most welcome. And this guy has introduced himself. So my voice is also introduced.
Director, Central Region. Like my friends have just said, really we are happy to be part of Youth Platform Africa. You are very much aware that it is a pioneering agribusiness company that empowers the youth and everybody to ensure that we go out of this poverty. And it is a company that is really very much invested in harnessing all the youth and everybody to be very active, so that at one time we are going to see that every person in a low-income development area that comes to board, so that everybody is okay with poverty. What is my role is continue reminding people, reminding everybody that there is no way you can work alone. You can work as a team, and at the end of the day, we make Uganda a happy country. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. By the name, I'm called Adira Naiki, Northern Region. I work as a governor. I am also facing a gospel of YPA, what I get from them, what I learn, and other things new in our community. And they are now buying this idea. I appreciate them also. They are working hard to be together as a family, to see the goal, the way we are going. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. You're most welcome. Offices. Let me start. The lady next to me also introduce themselves.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Pretty Precious Amuza. I'm the secretary.
Thank you.
My
Hayore. I am the chief events. I am monitoring and evaluation, and I'm also responsible for our regional leaders office in YPA.
You're welcome, everyone. I am Esther Sarache. I'm the partnerships coordinator. My role is to make sure everyone in partnership with YPA is having a pretty smile like mine. You're welcome. Feel at home. If you need anything, we are here. Thank you.
2010, before it started as a community-based organization with only 21 members. Of course, I just want to give you a preamble so that you know the people you are going to talk to. Then in 2010, we managed to register as a CBO. So we had close to 60 members who are now serving as our board members. Currently, as we speak, we are an organization moving close to 10,000 members. And our vision as Youth Platform Africa to be the greatest empowerment center. The greatest empowerment center. Difference of all the best agribusiness concepts in Africa. And truly indeed, Youth Platform Africa is this organization that can give you every detail when it comes to agribusiness concepts. We are managing so many farms in Uganda, and now we are having the biggest farm of goats in Uganda. Yes, so we clap for ourselves. So you are most welcome. We have a vision that we are pushing for 2030, which I know we all know as directors, but for the sake of our friends who are here, we are now pushing for YPA Tower, and we are soon getting there, very soon. We have our region offices, they are being established. That's why you see all this team. These people you see here, they move direct to the grassroots. They don't only be here in Kampala, but they go direct. So, Centenary Bank coming on board as partners, muchikubye, because these people have got what you want. They have the numbers and they have the influence. You know, it's different having numbers and having influence. But if they speak, people can listen, and people always do that. So we are targeting to have 1 million members by 2030. That is our target. And of course, we are looking at having over 10 million goats. I'm now talking about Vision 2030. And we are establishing now our YPA factory along Mitiana Road, which is going to do organic manure and also other things pertaining goats production when it comes to having a variety out of it. So we are also having in mind that by 2030 we must be having our East African offices. So by that time we hope to have an office in Kenya, in all the East African countries. So we want to welcome you, Centenary team. Thank you for accepting our invitation. I was at your bank this morning. You guys, you are amazing. Thank you for the hospitality, the organization there. When you are in Mapera, you don't want to go home, but thank you. So I don't know who is the team leader, but allow us to invite you to introduce yourselves. Then you unveil your package. Then I'll come in later after your presentation to wrap it up. Please let us join our hands and welcome Centenary Bank.
a very good and warm session. Hugs, smiles from the mighty Centenary Bank.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. My name is Ruth Kiai. I'm an Ichesot. I had someone speak of Budaka.
Yes.
These are my neighbors. I'm from Palisa.
Wow.
I work with Centenary Bank. I'm attached to Rubaga branch, and I am a business banker.
Thank you. Thank you. Are you available?
Yes, very available.
Thank you very much. So Agnes,
I'm coming here today this morning to represent the 3,700 staff base, the biggest in the country when it comes to the financial industry, is to reaffirm that message, that you're the bank that we are always proud of. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve you. Unemployment is one of the biggest challenges we have in the country. For many of you to choose Centenary Bank to give livelihoods, a chance to feed their families, to pay taxes that we are proud of as a country. Again, we are amongst the biggest taxpayers in this country. That is not something that is so small. But what is most important that I would want all of us to always remember, that this is an institution that is made by the true heart of Ugandans. Very, very important. So our coming here to YPA is exactly because of the like-mindedness. YPA is Ugandan, isn't it? You and I have the responsibility to change livelihoods of Ugandans. There is nobody that is going to do that for us apart from ourselves. So there are so many people that come to us every single day, and we go to them as well. But we make deliberate and intentional decisions because of who we are. So our coming here is exactly because of that. So why should you get interested in some strategic decisions that we make as an institution? Because all of you in your respective capacities, ladies and gentlemen, your mother love Uganda. People, when I talk about Uganda, I can even have the cows come home. The leading tourism destination right now in Africa is Uganda. Those of you that have traveled across the world, you will appreciate that there's no better country than Uganda. The best when it comes to weather, the best when it comes to corporate governance. And corporate governance is not, ladies and gentlemen, politics. It is about knowing where we are coming from as a country and where we are. So when she was speaking, Madam Edith, I felt so happy. She introduced herself as the women ambassador. When Mbayo was speaking, he said he represents the youth. So pertinent and core to our strategy as an institution. That is why she had to stay behind. Terry, what did I tell you when you were outside? Exactly, because the future of this country are the young youth. If we don't teach them what to do, if she doesn't observe what I'm doing, the country has no future. We had what it takes to even send you to the branches to do what we are doing right now. But because we understand you're the leaders, it starts with you. Isn't it? It starts with us. It starts by understanding and painting the bigger picture for this country. That is why we chose YPA. YPA, Youth Platform for Action, is not only serving youth, but they understood and got it right by appreciating that 74% of our population are youth. Can you imagine that? Quite a huge number. But what is the backbone of this country in terms of economic activity? Thank you. How many of us are farmers? Ruth did not put up her hand. Rona doesn't have her hand up.
I do for consumption.
Esther, you're not a farmer? Both hands. So one of the mistakes that we do every day in our lives is doing things that we are not passionate about. So you need to clap for yourselves because you're already farmers. It wouldn't make sense any of us coming here and does not even know the cost of a goat. Isn't it? That you're here in this room, you're representative of a big brand like YPA, and you do not even know the cost of a goat. What exactly are you doing?
What happened?
Assumptions. So Madam Harriet thinks it can't be. So I'll ask the bankers. Ruth, who amongst of you has lent out money or understands the psychology of lending? Because you're business bankers. Be truthful and put up your hand. Yes. Is it by business? Is it at a friendly level?
Some friends.
What is the percentage of friends? What is minimum? 0 to 5%, 30%. So they are not sure, they are struggling. We'll go to the youngest person. Terry, have you lent out money? To friends or for business? To friends. Thank you very much. So young people are always sincere. They are like angels. This is the practical experience of life. That you work up every single day. You're an ambassador for YPA. And all you're doing is to encourage people to buy goats, and you're not a farmer yourself. That is a criminal case. You need to go to jail immediately. So, Charles, we need to find a cell in here where we send people to jail. Anybody that does not speak the strategic objectives of the institution should go to jail. You go and meditate. Those of us that have raised children, there is always a naughty corner at home. When I was growing up, your mother would just look at you like this. The eyes start looking at you and you want to understand whether you're the Judas Iscariot of that day. Before you know it, you behave. So these are challenges we are battling with as a country. And because there's nobody that is going to do this job, we agree that we must put our foot forward. So we are very humbled to be part of YPA's story. Very humbled. So when I was coming here, I did not even know it was going to be as humbling as this. So it is not that we don't have branded materials, no. But because we treat all our customers, all the people we interact with as friends, we really want to have just simple conversations. But when I came in here, Rona, Esther, talk to me about such an engagement. And because you're the customers, because you're kings, I did not have any choice to say no. I had to fulfill her wish. So briefly, who knows about Centenary Bank's story? Because I listened carefully when he was sharing YPA's story. Who? Because we have diverse age groups here. Who has a clue about our story at Centenary Bank? Just feel free. Yes, Linda. It began? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yes, Mommy?
No. The Centenary Bank was the bank that and it was raining when we used to get no money to pay.
bank like Centenary. There is no bank that's for people like Centenary, down to earth. That is what they say. So thank you for that.
So the Bagandas say, when you repeat somebody's story or song, you might spoil the lyrics. So we shall take your feedback as genuine as it is. And he has blessed Centenary Bank. What comes to your mind? That we started as a small baby, we took our baby steps, we are still learning, and we keep growing every single day. Don't you think that is the grace of God?
Yeah.
When he was sharing YPA's story, he said they started in 2008. 2008, 16 years of serving the hearts of Ugandans. With approximately 20 people, and I think they became 60 after some time, and they have a membership of over 10,000. Who knows the number of customers we have? It's not good to guess. Cyrus can try.
I'm saying it's not good to guess.
Robert, you can try.
I believe it will be over. I'm one of them.
Okay. So 2093 we became a commercial bank and were fully licensed. Last year, in 2023, how many years did we celebrate? I'll ask my staff. Exactly. Did you see her smile on the face? That is what success brings. I do not know who will be around at that time, but by God's grace, we want to celebrate 40 years of YPA. Serving the hearts of Ugandans. What are we proud of as Centenary Bank? Other stories. I am not in Budak. I am not in Harriet's shoes. She was also humbled that when she was in Ginger, the people anonymously voted for. That is what you and I need to do for YPA. Because we can. But it starts with us, the leaders. God has been kind, we are all farmers. God has been kind that we are serving responsibly. That when you were invited, you came. Did you have things to do? A lot. But because you understand that it is because of you that the people you're representing will change, you left whatever you were doing and came here. So, we want to commit to you, dear ladies and gentlemen, that we shall walk with you this journey. That we are going to work together hand in hand to change the livelihoods of all the people where you're coming from. That we shall not come here to only tell those people to come and take loans from Centenary Bank, but to ensure that we make them understand why it is very critical for them to change their livelihoods. That it is important for the youth that Mbayo is representing to appreciate their story, paint their own dreams, buy the goats, get the money if they must get it, and become financially empowered. I liked the way he addressed his communication. He said, Uganda is battling with two enemies. He called them enemies. And you could see the frustration on his face. What are the two animals we are dealing with? Poverty and ignorance. Who knows the poverty index of this country? So one of the things that we need to look at as leaders is one, being knowledgeable. The people are looking at us. What do you know? If I ask Mr. Mbayo, what are the statistics of the people you're serving in terms of poverty? Because you need to paint your baseline, have a strategic plan, and then evaluate progress. Isn't it? But it begins by understanding where you are from, where you want to go, and how far you're faring. So all of us in here must have a strategic plan for our regions. You must create many, many people that are as good or as like-minded as you are at the grassroots level where you're coming from. Because life is not permanent, isn't it? That is why she had to sit in this room. When I'm away to meet my Lord, she will stand here and do the job that we are doing. So we are intentional as a bank. And you must additionally be intentional. So Charles, I need to ensure that we are safe when it comes to systems at grassroots level. That when Madam Edith is sick, when Mr. Robert is sick, who is there to take our journey forward? Because we are looking at 40 years of YPA. That is what leaders do. We paint dreams. But after painting them, we get the brush and walk the dreams home. So we are not merely designers that you put up your picture, then you give it. No, 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 no. We walk the and her. Or for you, when you see her, you just see YPA. She's not even wearing uniform. I'll go to my staff here. Did any one of you know that you're coming here today? So why did you come? That is what we need as leaders. That is what the gospel we want to preach today. That this marriage is not just about making money. If we only focus on money, we shall not be able to win these two animals. Poverty and ignorance. How do you pay people to even get informed? Is there a solution for ignorance? That you're going to give them money and they start getting informed? Won't work. Will not work. Have you seen people that are given money to start up a business and they fail? Yeah. Yesterday somebody was speaking to us and they were telling us how men are frustrated by us women. When we get married to them, we want them to support us. They give us money, we start up a business, it sinks. We go back, he gives us more money, it sinks. The third time, he starts getting irritated. But because you're the wife, he wants to be nice and responsible. But deep within him, he's also tired. So that is what happens to many economic empowerment programs. Because people are ignorant, they don't even know how to use the money. Isn't it? So, Madam Women Ambassador, it is not just about the grow money. So as a leader, we must wear hats of people. That before you put people first. That I had what it takes to let my Ruaga team come here. But because I value relationships, I put YPA first. That is what we need as leaders. If we always forget that, then let's just be seated and let other people take that ship forward. So you are not nominated by mistake. Because you understand your roles, you and I are going to have a better relationship to ensure that the lives of Ugandans change. So I don't want to come down there in Budaka or wherever you're coming from to only talk about grow money. We have thousands of messages and literature that is about bank products and services, but it begins with mindset change. Isn't it? Yeah. Do not even waste your precious time to go out to a youth there who is so frustrated with poverty and start telling them banking accounts. Ladies and gentlemen, they will not listen to you. That you want them to buy goats and they don't even know how to even get their money to buy the first goat. Are you adding value? That Abirundi, who is dressed like this, leaves office and goes to Gomba, where the YPA farm is, and wants to talk about financial empowerment. Dressed like this? Am I adding value? No. That is why we had to be sincere with ourselves. That walk that talk. It begins with you. Master the game. Have your animals. Understand the concept such that people learn from you. Because leadership is about service. Leadership is about humility. Isn't it? Leadership is about setting an exemplary tone. So if we don't get it right with you, we are wasting time. We are wasting time. But because God chose you for a purpose, it is not going to be wasting time. For those of us that are believers, we know that the power of mouth is entirely bestowed upon us. So we want to speak positivism. We want to confess success. We want to confess wealth amongst Ugandans. And we want to confess and testify to the mighty God that Uganda is moving forward.
Amen.
Let nobody lie to you that Uganda will ever go back. It's not going to happen.
Amen.
It's not going to happen. And we want to request all of you, ladies and gentlemen, to instill hope amongst the hopeless, to give life, to breathe words of wisdom to the young runners and tarries of tomorrow, because they are our future. But the farmers are not wasting time, because agriculture, we agreed, is the backbone of this country. But we want to encourage people to get interested in the ongoing financial empowerment programs, for them to understand that it is not there to waste time, that they are entitled to get the knowledge, but most importantly, become beneficiaries. That it is your role to request the people there to question bankers on why they are not adding value to them. Did you know that most of us that are working for these great institutions were even paid by you? But we went to school because of the taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
Because I woke up and my name was somewhere and all I had to do was to go and study at the university. That is the man of Ugandans. But who's asking us whether we're adding value or not? Nobody. Because they expect us to think. That's why we went to school. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Terry, did you know that you have an obligation for this country? What is your obligation? Please speak loudly. She wants to be a powerful woman representing her community. Can you please clap for her? And I didn't know that. But Terry, when you want to be a powerful woman, you don't speak like you're in a bedroom. Who are you going to speak? Have you heard how Madame Nabanda speaks? That is what being powerful means. Did you hear how she speaks? So that is what we want you to be. Because it begins by you. So ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to waste a lot of time. This was really a challenge for all of us, because the other things are obvious. What do we do as a bank? So many things. For us to become number 2 in the country, it has not been by mistake. We are working with farmers, we are working with youth, we are working with women, we are working with family, where many of your people are struggling with these two enemies. And you're comfortable, you're watching things go by, business is normal, and you want to change lives of communities. Ladies and gentlemen, it starts with you. If your family is struggling, if any of you is around somebody that does not even understand why they should be able to get into this go-to business, question your leadership abilities. That we are working with so many groups, that you're seeing adverts, that she's frustrated why she did not get to grow man as a person. And she's seated and waited for Centenary Bank to come here and answer the questions in her heart, or to fire questions. That is what happens in everyday life. What is our obligation as leaders? To question the status quo. To question when we question ourselves, we become problem solvers. But if you don't question yourselves, the people will not even question you. They have already lost confidence in you. But it begins with you. What kind of leader are you at grassroots level? What kind of leader are you at family level? What kind of leader are you in the community? That you have a son and daughter who has a balance every single day. Other parts are out, and you have told yourself, I gave that gentleman to the Lord. Let God take control. But deep within you, you know that on his birth certificate, whose name appears as a father? Do parents ever change? And you're waiting for government to come in your home and help you. Tusaba government yekolechi?
30% goes to your wants, and then the 20% goes to your savings.
Thank you very much. 50 to 30 to 20. You must understand the psychology and discipline of making money fast. And the ladies are the best at this role. When she is paid, the next thing she will go to is a shop. She will even buy. Mr. There is a man. What do you use your money when you get some money on you? Quickly. Okay. Okay. Yeah? So once you understand that, you work with people better. That the things you're going to tell Terry at her age are not the things he needs. So when we are coming to you, like we've come for you to help us be ambassadors of Centenary Bank, please disseminate our information in a manner that is customized. Don't go to a 70-year-old who's trying to buy the first goat in his life and you encourage them to come to Mapera. They are old. Call this young lady wherever she is. I'll tell her to go and support that old man. Don't go to mama who has like 7 children. Sometimes she's a single mother. And you stress her about an identity card that is not yet submitted to Centenary Bank because you must pay her. It won't add value. Don't go to Mr. Kalunji, who is passionate about his ties, and you tell him the first thing he needs to do is to save for other things, not his tie. Because he's also working so hard for his money. But because we have a 50 to 30 to 20 rule, all these two will be able to understand what to do first. So quickly, what are needs? Since needs took 50%, what are needs? P3 science. Things you can't do without. And how many are they? 5. Okay. 1, shelter. You got it right. 2, clothing. 3, food. So food should even have come first. You remember what COVID did to us? We didn't even need the clothes, but we needed food. 4, medical care. 5, we mentioned shelter. Mr. Kalunji's second need, education. People, our people shouldn't die of ignorance when you're leaders. Let the women and men from grassroots, where you're coming from, take the kids to school. Without education, we don't have a country. Anybody that can't afford, let them put their children in school. Create systems to support each other. Because we are family. There are even universal schools. It is not true that anybody that goes to those schools won't succeed. It is a mindset problem. Wants, what are wants? So all those take 50%. So Mr. Kalunji, before you think about buying a tie, your number 2 should be cleared. Wants, what are wants? So they are important, but we can. So Tari's earrings are? They are wants. So please, don't come to us to borrow money to make a wedding. I loved JB's wedding. Very simple, with a clarity of purpose. He focused on the objective. Can we teach our young women and men that they must get married, not because they have money, but because they must, as responsible citizens of this country, that they do not need $1 billion to make a wedding? Please don't send me for that one to borrow for speculative purposes. We shall not give out that money. That is why every project that comes to financial institutions has guidelines. And we always ask, what are you going to use the money for? If we see you struggling with that simple question, we give you time to think about it. Lastly, the savings. How much did we give it to? Can you imagine that we work so hard every single day, but the knowledgeable people are giving it 20%. So how many of us have savings accounts? How often do we save? Mixed answers. And we are the leaders, isn't it? Now put yourself in the shoes of the people that you're representing. If we have mixed feelings, what do they have? So when we are encouraging our people to get into all these schemes, to support YPA, they should and must understand the theories of money. So get it right, disseminate the information, and give us the 20%, such that we take this country forward. So Mr. Kalunji, you have homework to do. In the next session, we shall be able to draw a budget. We shall challenge ourselves to get better at saving, such that we become exemplary. You don't need to drive everywhere you're going. You're wasting our environment with carbon emissions. Yes! What is wrong with walking? It's healthy. Very healthy.
It is, but
I have gone to some regions of this country and the children walk to school.
no children.
Sometimes the borders are in trading centers, but I've traversed this country. It is mindset. Have you seen the president walk?
Yes.
So you think? So why do you think he walks? So when you go to the gardens and farms, are there borders? So how do you supervise the farm or the garden? So what is wrong with walking?
You can't walk from here to Gomba.
No, we are saying exercise is healthy. There's nobody that is telling you walk up to Gomba. We don't want to bury you. Give us time to do other things. Yes.
Even that is not valid. Yeah. My parents moved all the way from Zimbabwe to Namgongo.
Once in a year.
So, Mr. Silas, I am seeing how you're struggling with walking. But when I walked in here, I saw free visits. Charles, let's make it mandatory for all our leaders to be part of these visits. They must walk. We want them to live longer. No! I want us to get the information right. Let us set ourselves realistic targets. Walk where you can, but don't be that kind of leader who thinks that life without some of these assets around us, people we are not living. If you have that kind of mindset, you're going to grow children who imagine that without gas they can't cook. You're doing this country a disservice. Your son and daughter is going to get married to somebody that does not even know how gas looks like, because you're not there in their future. And they won't manage. Do you want them to stay hungry?
No,
so we must set up all-round citizens. Never shum. And your women leader, never shum. And that is how work society is perceptions. Perceptions have costed people opportunities. Perceptions have costed our country money, and it has affected our GDP. Have you seen people that just write things about Uganda? Wrong use of technology. Somebody sits in their sitting room and says, we are cast as Ugandans. And the person that is texting that is a Ugandan with our national ID. That one needs to go to jail. We are the first ambassadors of our own country. We must be very patriotic. We are the first ambassadors of our families. Please bless your children. So, Madam Woman Ambassador, the issue of working on perceptions is a responsibility you and I must be able to. Thank you. We can sit here till the cows come home. If you are lucky to work with me, Obed knows I always have a stick because we rear animals. So it is always in my cab to remind me of my culture. Yes, there must be something to remind you always that you're Ugandan. Wherever I am. And because I am colored, I don't want to be mixed. I don't want anybody to claim me because the Ugandans have made who we are. Be proud of your country. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of the opportunities God has blessed you with because you serve a mighty God. So this YPA and Centenary Bank marriage is for life, ladies and gentlemen. Let's be exemplary leaders. Let's walk that talk. Let's challenge ourselves. Let's have our heart at our country at. With those few and many words, I want to sincerely thank you for your precious time and to always know that we do all this because of one thing, for God and my country.
Yet have more, please. It's a bit disorganized. We can do it in an organized way. Yes, thank you, Madam Karen. You said Karen?
Don't mind about that.
Then the other one? Birungi. Oh, Birungi. I was like, we have Karungi there, we have Birungi here. So that's interesting. Thank you so very much for the presentation. It has really been so nice. And I believe we have taken some good notes. Actually, perception is very bad. You winded it very, very wonderful because there is a way how I thought when I heard that we are going to meet Centenary Bank, our bank. Actually, I never knew that we are the bank. Now I know our bank. Yes, I'm our bank, not you. So, whatever we were thinking about, it is me, not them. Are we together? Women representative, Gromane is it is you. It is you. It is not Centenary Bank. Thank you so very much. I want just because of time to get like 3 people to give me your take home. Karen will be very, very happy if she gets to know that some people have been taking notes. What has been your take home from her speech? Just the 3 people. She said it all was Let me start with Mama here.
Yes, I didn't know how to do that. So I've been saving for many years, but I didn't know the percentage. Right now, I know the percentage. The 50 is for what? For the needs. 30 for the what? And 20 for saving for future development of investment. Thank you very much. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, that's wonderful. Let us appreciate her. That is really very, very powerful. In fact, I've been teaching about money management system. For me, I had 6. And I had termed them port management system, where I was teaching people with examples of, for example, these teens when they are 6, where 1 is for the tithers, 2 was for paying yourself first, then up to the 6th. I will not tell you because I would tell you to the 50, 30, 20 rule, which is also very wonderful. I didn't know that it can also come that way. Thank you so very much, Karen. Another person? A lady?
Yeah. For having a mind. If we don't change the mind of our people, we may not really achieve our goal. 2, whenever we talk about we need to compense. And that success will give the other people a grip that they're really talking something which is practical, that they can translate to them without believing in them that whatever they are really doing